I'm gonna start waving people over here, like, yo, let's talk about this. I don't know where the rubber ducky is. I think we're on a different part of the water. No, this is a different area. This is a different area. A rubber ducky is probably like miles back, different direction, different place on the Puget Sound. But right now, no ducky in the background. This is, uh, back there, you can probably see that's Des Moines, Washington, back over there. That's like the two little islands from the laser test, and then way back there, that's where I was at during the laser test, where I was able to see Mark's laser. So what I'm doing is like using this particular area as a kind of vantage point. I mean, it makes it a little bit easier to say, hey, I was able to see my man's laser. He was down here, and I was across the water 10 miles away. So just using the terrain in this whole battle. Not about to argue, just having a discussion. But yeah, there's a lot of people around. There's a lot of people around, but I'm saying they're like sitting around and talking and all that. What's up, Ted? Start waving people around and all that. No, that not no that no. This is scared of light conversation. I know. Like they shouldn't be. Nobody needs to be afraid to have this discussion. It's a simple thing. I'm not gonna argue with anybody. I'm not gonna browbeat anybody. I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna talk down or anything like that. This is a simple situation. And there's folks around here, just having a good time, sitting at the picnic tables, sitting at the, in the little chairs and all here, the benches, park benches, and all that, just hanging out. Actually, there was a few more people around like this immediate area, but like as soon as I had set up, a few people had kind of skipped cleared out, and that's fine with me. That's fine. They're still gonna get it. Somebody's gonna catch this. It's all good. You know, say it's hard to wake up. I look at it, the whole aspect of waking up, kind of like I don't know, like actually trying to wake somebody up that's taking a nap. You know, that's basically what this is. It's like most of society is fast asleep, as it were, and somebody comes along and snatches the covers off of you. The first thing you do is squint your eyes because there's too much light coming in. So that's kind of one of those things that we do. We're enlightening people about where we are and what's been going on as far as the deceptions and all that that's taking place in this world, on this world, deception of this world, and people aren't quite ready for that. All right, it's all good. I'm about to have to snatch somebody up real quick. How did she get down there? Come on. Anyway, it's all good. Don't let them gang you. Nah, we're fine. How are you? Right.
You can't pull me up. No, I can't, and you're an idiot.
uh, yeah, it's a nice view out. Take it. That's what we got. All right, yeah, that's. You heard about that? Y'all heard about that? You didn't know? All good. About to have to slide down a little bit. The sun's starting to go down. I was um I was actually thinking about being over on the other side of the water, which would have made I don't know, it would have made more sense as far as trying to stay in the sun because since it's over on that side, the sun will shine over there a little longer. Whereas over here, it's gonna be shady in a little bit, but then the sun's gonna take like another 2 hours to stop shining over there. Maybe I'll go there, I don't know, tomorrow or the day after that. But we'll see. No telling. But today is Officially, according to Gregorian calendar, last day of winter, tomorrow's first day of summer. And it just happens to be the hottest day on record, I believe. Or this is definitely the hottest day this year. It's 73 degrees today. That's as warm as it's been all year, bro. You can see other terrariums from Antarctica. All right. Oh man, looks like he wants to stop and talk. Folks out on their boats over here. Check this out. Who's back there out here on their boat? There's a ferry. I kind of like it better at let me see. My favorite spot was where I was at yesterday. That was cool. Good time. All right, I think we got somebody coming over. Oh, these are facts. This is the reality over here. How you doing?
Hi.
All right. Well, look here. I'm doing a live stream.
Yeah, I can get on.
Oh, did you want to get on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
All right, nice to meet you. All right. Say hi to Alex, everybody. All right. So yeah, I'm just out here, trying to get people up to speed as far as where we are. Flat. You heard about that?
Yeah, how so?
What ain't how so?
How's it flat?
All right. So look, real. So you have common sense. I believe you have common sense. A lot of people do. Okay. So every time you see a globe, you see primarily two colors. Green is usually the continent, and then you see blue. And the blue is water. You know this is connected to the ocean, right? All right, you see how? Yeah, right. You see how flat it is, though?
Yeah. Oh, so that's what you're trying to prove.
You got me?
Oh my gosh, you're corny.
No,
that's funny though.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
you see it,
sure
though,
is
right?
flat.
Thank you. That's all. There you go.
But theoretically.
Yeah, in theory, but theory's not fact. Theory's not proven. That's the thing.
But yours is a theory too.
No, it's not a theory. I go out and I do my own experiment. This week from last year, doing the 24-hour sun. The sun doesn't actually move.
Flat.
Yeah, I'm saying. I was pointing at
But what about the hills? It's not flat.
Oh, come on. I mean, like, primarily flat. Because the water has to be contained on this level surface. That's the thing. So here, this is Owen Beach. This is where we are right now. So a friend of mine is down there. He had a laser. I was on the other side of the water at Point Defiance, not Point Defiance, at Saltwater State Park, 10 miles away, over 10 miles per of water. Now, according to spherical trigonometry, 10.3 miles away, all right, and the calculation is 8 inches per mile squared. Now, at that distance, according to globe math given by the official scientific community, that should have been 62.2 feet of curvature between us. Because according to the globe, see how the water's bulging like that? Water doesn't bulge. So I'm over here, and I can see his laser on that side. So he's down there pointing the laser that way, and that's the beam from the laser that I was able to see from
And
my
how am I
side.
supposed to believe that?
Because I can take you to the spot right now.
Can you point a laser?
I can pull up the video.
Okay.
I can take you to the spot right now.
Let's go.
What is this app?
Oh, no, that's YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, live streaming on YouTube.
You have 114 followers.
Say what?
This girl said she likes him. I just met him.
All right. You don't know me good enough, man. Get out of here. Good talking about. All right, so yeah, look. I ain't got a lot of you. That's a split screen right here. That's him firing the lights back here. That's me the range on the laser is like 12.5 miles.
If you can see a mountain from 270 miles away, something ain't right.
That's the thing. You know, lasers fire in a straight line.
I know we're done.
So
But you gotta think if it curves, that means it's reflecting over.
when does the laser curve?
No, I'm saying if the water curves, that means the laser light is reflecting over it.
Have you ever seen a large body of water curve though? That's what I'm saying. It's like every time, look, if you pour a glass of water on the surface is flat, you drive past the photo is flat, you go to a pond, the surface is flat, out on a lake.
But is it flat under?
Come on now.
Look, I'm questioning
See, you on that Bruce Lee stuff. Like if you pour water into a container, of course on the underside it's going to conform to the container.
In order to get flat, what is
But
necessary?
the surface, the water's got to reach all edges of the container. And when the water is contained, the surface is always flat. There it is.
So I think it should be the surface is flat instead of earth is flat.
Well, the whole Earth. I mean,
Like I'm over here bursting a little bubble.
you trying? You trying anyway? You messing around?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. You know, those pictures of the road they show us, those are fake. This is like in 2002, that's 2012. This is supposed to be the U.S. It's all small areas. It's like that. This is official from NASA.
This is your website?
Well, that's where I get my stuff from. Letter101.com. It hooks me up with this banner.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
It's pretty cool. I did this experiment right here with the level. I took a level onto an airplane, recorded 23.5 minutes of level flight, traveled 203.85 miles. Thing compensated. The plane should have compensated for 5 miles of curvature, right? The bubble was centered the whole time. So it is flat. I go out and do my own work.
Okay.
That's just what it is. Trying to burst nobody's bubble.
Smart.
Just active. Just active, that's all.
That's smart. That's smart.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Here. Okay, so
Thank
here,
you.
be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more information. Check out that pamphlet, those other channels and all that. They put up
Okay.
good stuff too.
I like science, so
That's what's up.
I'm gonna watch you.
All right, take care. Y'all stay out of here. I don't want to hear it, folks. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, that was easy. That was easy. I'm saying she put that together quick. Like, come on now. Simple stuff. Of course it's flat. And you see in that short period of time, the sun's gone already. So that's why I got my backpack over here. I got my hoodie in here. Or do I? Nope. I grabbed the backpack and then I left my hoodie in the car. So I get it. I get it. A little bit later. It's all good. Good times, folks. Good times. Who said that? Get out of here. Oh my heck. Who's telling the research? Yeah. Y'all behave. Y'all behave out here. Folks out here doing their thing. It's all good.
So, right.
Oh, hush. Ain't nobody asked you to be quiet. Oh. All right. How you doing, man? You look like you have questions. All right, I'll be around. Go get the lab coat. Yeah, that's what I need right there. Go grab that lab coat. Keep warm out here. How you doing? Hey, that was a fair exchange. All good. See, I'm gonna have to move again. Should have been on the other side of the water. My lighting's all jacked up now. Yeah, probably. I might go back to the other spot one of these times. I'm not gonna drive over there now. I'd have to stay live the whole time. Go to the other spot. Should have brought the P900. Yeah, Actually, that was something I used to do. Actually, you crazy. Let me see. I used to take my P900 down to this golf course. The golf course over in University Place. I would take my P900 there, and you know, I would just be over there like looking through the camera, like, hey, have you ever looked through a P900, a Nikon P900? They're like, what? A what? Who? And I'd be like, yo, check this out. This thing's got like 83 times zoom on here. Yo, vegan, what's good, man? Vegan warrior in the house, out here doing some activism, you know, making myself available in case anybody wants to ask some questions about this flat earth we live on. That's all that is, you know. Today so far, one. she's over there. She was just trying to get on. She was just trying to get on live, man. You know, trying to get on the stream. Ain't nothing going on. But I'm at this little intersection, you know, where I don't know. You know what? I might have to move down. I might move down the beach. I might. We'll see. Binder. No naked departure. Yeah, buying Andre, buying that P900 this weekend or P1000. All right, cool. That's cool. Try it out. Yeah, man. You know what? What time is it? If it's early enough, I might go to the other spot, man. These folks acting like they scared over here. Folks over at the other park, you know, they wasn't tripping. I might have to go back to downtown Tacoma. See what's going on. I'm getting a lot of folks like looking over here. They look like they want to ask a question, but I don't want to say nothing, which is fine. What time do we wrap up at the other spot? It was about 7 something. Traffic might be bad going away to the other spot. I'm really thinking about going back to where I was at yesterday, man. Or maybe just moving this whole thing. It's only 5:20. I could be out at the other spot until about 8. No problem. Traffic is unpredictable, you're right. No. I think I'm gonna have to move further up the beach just a little bit. I mean, since I already lost lost my sunlight, I might as well go further. It was just gonna continue pointing to the center. So you can fly west and you can go all around here and come back to the same spot.
So you're actually not flying straight?
No, not at all. Not at all. So it's like kind of making a big left-hand turn. You know?
But that supposes there is a center.
Oh, there.
If it's like a flat thing, so where's the center?
The center's at the North Pole.
Okay, why the North Pole? Why not the South Pole?
Well, there is no South Pole, first off. Well, all compasses point to the North Pole. That's where the magnetic source is. And I was actually there. See, this is I took a trip to Alaska last year. Now, I had seen videos of people doing long exposure time lapses of the sun making clockwise circuits, because the way that the sun and the moon work, they actually make clockwise circuits over the face of the earth. Now, I had seen video of that, and I was wondering whether or not it was real, so I decided to go to Alaska myself. And I got with a friend of mine out there, my buddy Chris. He took care of me for a couple days. We sat in the car, eating junk food, and waiting. I put my camera on this tripod here, and I just started the time lapse. And what we got was here. Let's see. Let me bring this video back. Wait, where we at? Bring that back about right here. Okay, so it's like I took my camera and I just panned around the terrain where we were. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can adjust the brightness on this. If that's even possible. Oh, okay. All right, so there's this orange pole right here. And then I just followed the sun around all that day. And that was June 22nd last year. So the camera is sitting still and just watching the sun move through the sky. I put a little tree here as a reference point. Sun moves around, goes into the distance, way into the distance. Around this time, it was getting to be about midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, and I could still see the sun from there, but the sun was actually over Africa at the same time. That's what that picture right there shows. But the sun goes behind these this hill for a little bit, and then it comes back up at about 5 a.m.
I'm like standing
right there. Remember that orange pole? Okay, you're gonna see that when I move the camera again, and it comes right back to the pole. It comes right back to the same spot. So basically what I did that day was, just sit the camera on the tripod and we followed the sun, make it a complete circle. So I had to go check it out for myself. We recorded on the 21st and on the 22nd of June last year. And yeah, just as sure as the day is long, the sun does make a clockwise circle.
And so how do you explain tides?
Tides, I would have to say, I'm guessing here. This is speculation. All right, it's possible that the sun and the moon have their own electromagnetic charge. And the way that I've seen some magnets interact with salt water is that there's either the magnet has a positive or negative charge. I can't remember exactly which one. But there's some seriously saline, dense water on the bottom layer of the ocean. Now, as the sun moves away, that could be the positive charge and then another positive charge at the bottom of the ocean. So the sun moves away, and then the water comes up. Then the moon comes around with this negative charge, and the water comes up a little higher. That could be possible, or it could be another explanation.
So if the Earth is a disk, what is the sun? A disk as well?
Well, it's possible.
And then, so we kind of have a different dimensionality.
Well, I was thinking about that. I just did a sun gaze and look at the sun, and when I would get to the point where I would see the sun going off into the distance, and it would just turn into that circle. It kind of did look like a disc, but whatever it is, the numbers that we've been given as far as the sun being 93 billion miles away, 400 times larger than the Earth, it's nonsense. Because and the way that I think about that is, what they tell us is the way that the sun heats up the Earth is that there's a special type of radiation that comes from the sun, and it travels through the vacuum of space 93 billion miles away. And once it gets to the Earth's atmosphere, now that it has particles to attach itself to, that's that special type of radiation, then it can give us its heat. I find it to be more simple that the sun takes its light and heat wherever it goes as it travels over the face of the Earth. Just like I was just warm out here a second ago because the sun was still shining here. Well, now that the sun's behind the trees, you can feel that it's a little bit cooler. So I don't think it has anything to do with some sort of cosmic radiation that's, traveling millions of miles. I believe that the sun kind of works like a spotlight, as does the moon. And the moon,
So what does your model explain better than the model that the Earth is round?
It explains the aspect of flat water better.
Is that a big deal?
It's a huge deal. It's the biggest deal. Period. It's the simplest thing, because in our everyday experience, all you see is a flat surface. Whenever water fills whatever container it's in, gets to all edges, the surface is always flat. And you've seen that in a glass of water, in a pond, in a puddle, in a lake, and then the ocean. This is connected to the ocean, and as far as you can see, the water's flat. Like water, and my thing I always say is that bodies of water, meaning bodies like lakes, rivers, oceans, bodies of water don't curve like they show us on a globe.
Well, if the sphere is large, then in order to perceive the curve,
Yes,
you have to have quite some distance.
you would like to think so, and they gave us actual measurements. You know the diameter of the Earth? The radius. Well, they tell us that the Earth is 24,901 miles in circumference. So by that, the equation that we're given is 8 inches per mile squared to calculate the Earth's curvature. So I took those numbers, myself and a friend of mine. We did an experiment, actually right here. Actually, he was further down the boardwalk down here. He had a laser. This laser right here, the laser's got a 12.5-mile range on it. He fires that laser where I was at Saltwater State Park. And over that stretch of water, that's 10.3 miles of water. I was able to film his laser. This is the source of the laser right there. It was a laser with a blue beam, and I could see the dot, the illuminated light source of that laser from 10 miles away. And according to spherical trig, that's supposed to be 62 feet of curvature between the two of us, basically. If you factor in the height of the laser and the height of the observer, myself on the other side. So I got a video of that too.
62 feet of difference?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Okay, I cannot verify that. It's kind of an interesting idea.
Well, I could give you a card. My YouTube channel is D Marvel.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Right there. You can check me out. I did that experiment. It's called the Puget Sound laser test. We actually had a live audience of about 150 people when we did it.
Cool.
And they all saw everything happen, all at the same time. There was even a point where I was live streaming just like I am now. And I have my camera, I bring it down to the water. From the water level, we can still see the blue beam from that distance. And it was supposed to be 62 feet of curvature between us, but that just kind of shows that the surface of water is flat, basically. So if it's flat over this 10-mile stretch, and this 10-mile stretch of water is connected to the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Ocean is connected to the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic and all, the Mediterranean and all that, it's all one body of water, and it's all flat.
Well, scientific theories always try to explain observations better than all theories, right?
They try.
And so that's a theory, the Earth is flat, which is it used to be like that way back, right? There's people, civilizations who think that.
Most civilizations
Then I
do
think
believe that.
Copernicus came up with something else.
Absolutely.
And then quantum physics comes up, and the next theory may be something beyond the Earth is round, right? So we always try to explain our observations.
Right, they're going to go to the Earth as a simulation, something like that. But at the same time, anytime you program a video game or a simulation, as it were, they always start with a level playing surface. So it just stands to reason that it's flat. It's a lot less complicated on the flat Earth, because on the globe, and I like to wear this shirt, it's kind of sarcastic. You see people say you're crazy if you say the Earth is flat, but right here, this is representing a human just walking on a flat surface at 90 degrees, which we all are, and then they think it's normal for somebody to be upside down on a ball with curved water sticking to it. But you've never seen water stick to a ball. You've never heard of people being upside down.
It's a concept of gravity.
Well, yeah, I know they say gravity, of course. And that whole thing, that's actually density and buoyancy, is what gravity is. The whole idea of kangaroos hopping around upside down in Australia, that's craziness. But here in this depiction, it shows how these different liquids, the lamp oil, the rubbing alcohol, vegetable oil, water, dish soap, all these different things have different densities. And then there's the ping pong ball, there's a cherry tomato, and a screw. And you drop the liquids in, and they all layer up according to their own density there. But if gravity were a factor, then something went wrong with these things.
Oh, think about it.
Please do.
Thank you.
Please do.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Have a good night.
It's always good to have different ideas.
Oh, here. You can
Okay,
take
thank you.
that. That's more information.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah,
Ciao.
just do your research, sir. Have a good one. Have a good one. Thank you. All right. Gravity. All right, we're back. All right, we're back. Just me and you. What's happening? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all. Trying to get my stuff together. Hold on. Somebody lost the ball. You're welcome. All right. Yay. Let me see if they don't believe you. Going to get the guillotine? No, dude. Cut that out, Frank. Yeah, he sounded pretty solid. You know, he was all smiles and he was just like, yeah. And actually, he had been sitting over there on the bench, like since I got set up. He just kind of watched the whole thing. So, you know, y'all gonna get tired of hearing me saying the same stuff. Bodies of water don't curve. Like it's been 2 years, you still keep saying that. Yeah, because they don't. Do I believe that space exists? No. Okay, I'm not going to be able to save that ball. Oh, see, he said he was lurking. No, he wasn't lurking. He was just sitting there. He was just sitting there chilling. Maybe people watching, something like that. It's all good. I like that. They do. Well, have you heard of gravity? I'm like, of course I've heard of gravity. Everybody's heard of gravity, and it's nonsense. Have you ever thought of gravity? Do I get a little nervous talking to people? Maybe at first, but you get used to it after a while. You know, you just gotta get used to stuff. Dang. Look, so I went over there. I just ran over there to save that ball because they were over there playing volleyball, and the ball got away from them. And then within like another 45 seconds after that, they hit the ball again. Now the ball's over in the water. Check this out. Shenanigans at the park. And that's their ball. And that's them struggling to get their ball. I'm saying. The guy with the fishing pole, he's going to try to help him. But, I don't know. See what's up. That's what's going on out here at Owen Beach. Doing a little bit of that flat earth activism. Oh yeah. Yeah, he knew about Copernicus, I know. I was like, oh, okay, he's halfway there. Yeah. Alright, so the water sticking to the ball. Heck no. Yeah, giveaway. Yeah, man. Water isn't contained, it flows. Exactly, Jay. Exactly. Yeah, he'll be a flat earther in a little bit. King 7 in the house, what's good? My man. Show the fourth wall? Okay. Okay, you know, viewer's choice. We'll do this thing. Excuse me, let me show you. All right, I'm going to show you. Boom. All right, so this is what we're looking at right here. There's the different. There's a mountain out there. Then we got. Yeah, so that's where I was at for the laser test on the other side. I think. Did he get their ball? Oh no, that ball is gone. Oh, that sucks. Dang. Yeah, it's gone. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. My man with the fishing pole, he tried to fish the ball out of the water. People are just down there hanging out. Okay, so between us, let's chat about this. Should I go back to the waterfront where I was at yesterday? Should I do that? What do you think? Do you feel like I should go back to the waterfront, put some ones in the chat? Ones in the chat. Matter of fact, actually, you know what? There's a situation here. There's a situation about to occur. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story real quick. And that depends on if this guy gets a parking spot or not. How you doing? Okay. Nah, he's gone. Dude left. Okay. I thought there was going to be a situation. The guy left, though. There's this dude who has this red and black Corvette. And he was over at the waterfront yesterday. And we got stuck in traffic, and he ended up next to me. And we were talking about, okay, hold on. There's people over there by the van. They were just over there to the van. Oh, my goodness. All right. But anyway, so yeah, we got stuck in traffic, and this dude was, he was talking about my van. I was talking to him about his car. I'm pretty sure that was the guy in the red Corvette that just rolled through the parking lot, but it looks like he couldn't find a parking spot, so I think he left. But if he wouldn't have left, he was talking that globe stuff. He was like, yeah, I'm in construction. I do engineering and all of that. And yeah, it's definitely code is what he said. So I ended up having to, have a chat with him. Very brief chat. This one girl just ran through here. She was jogging. She was trying to keep her pace going that way, but she was rubbernecking, staring at the banner, and she almost ran into the bench. If she would have felt, I would have had to help her. It would have been my fault. But flat, man. Flat. It's the kids over here. Sound like the kids said, you think that's flat? I could have sworn. Yeah, no, she was looking at the banner. Cut that out. She wasn't looking at me. Ain't nobody looking at me. But yeah, old dude said he was in construction or he builds skyscrapers or some crap like that. He's like, no, you get up there on a skyscraper, you can see the curvature. I was like, nah, man, look here. I like, nah, bro. Actually, Neil deGrasse Tyson said you can't see curvature from 128,000 feet. He was like, he didn't say that. I'm like, oh yes, he did. You want to bet? Get that real quick. But yeah, he's still on the ball. But if he would have came down here, we would have had that conversation. It would have been good. I couldn't get him like I wanted to in traffic, but yeah, with my props and all that, and yeah, I definitely break it down to him. It's all good. Yeah, man. What's up, brother?
What's good, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right.
I saw your van. I was like, oh shit, this is dope.
Yeah, my man.
And I'm trying to tell my girlfriend about it. It's the truth.
Oh, she over here?
Yeah, she's right here.
Oh, hey.
Earth is definitely flat,
Man, you're right.
It is. It's flat.
You want to say what's up to the people?
Yes.
Yo, what's your name, bro?
My name is Solomon. The Earth is definitely
everybody
flat.
say hello to Solomon. That's my man Solomon. I'm meeting flat earthers everywhere I go.
You telling me that gravity can hold down all this water around this planet, but can't hold a bird down?
I'm saying.
I'm just being real.
See what I'm saying?
You take a tennis ball and soak with water and throw it through the air spinning. Where's the water going to go? Everywhere. Earth is flat.
It's so flat.
It's so good to meet you, man.
My man.
Appreciate it. I just started subscribing to your channel right now, bro.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man.
Here, take one of my calls.
Thank you, bro. Yeah. Thank you.
My man.
Earth is flat. Don't believe the hype, y'all.
Real talk.
Earth is flat.
All right, brother. Take care. Love it. I love it. He just said, I just saw your van. I subscribed to your channel. That's what's up, man. Good times. We're everywhere. Everywhere, people. See, that's what I'm talking about. Flat Earthers unite. Yeah. I'm saying. That's what happens. That's how that happens. Just got to put yourself out there a little bit. We just got to make sure that we identify ourselves. That's why I'm like, yo, wear your shirts. Wear your Wear your Flat Earth merch. Flat Earthers, look, we know who we can approach. You see somebody with a flat Earth shirt on, you already know that they know what's up. So you can just run up to them. Yo, what's going on? You know what's flat? What's happening? What's happening? I mean, so I love that type of stuff, man. I love it. That's always good. Makes my day. Yes, yes. That's good. I'm gonna have some water. I feel good. Being flat earthers out here. Yeah. And of course, it helps to have have the do I sell merch? Yeah. I didn't put a link. I put a link out there. I'm sorry. It's links to my my little online storefront and all that. You can get one of these Globe Believer Logic shirts because they think it's crazy for people to say that the Earth is flat and that we're all walking at a 90-degree angle, but they think it's normal to be on a ball upside down. That's craziness. So yeah, get you one of these. And people, I get so many compliments on this shirt. I don't have any hats, actually. I don't have any hats yet. I need to work on some designs. I'm terrible at marketing, you know. I don't even really sell t-shirts. I just got them available because I started off making some customized shirts for my flat earth videos and all that. And then, you know. All right, hold up. King Freeze has a question. King Freeze, Crypto Dungeon. Okay. First off, I appreciate you, King Freeze. Let me see. I do not believe in flat, but I have an honest question. Not trolling. Okay, that's cool. On the flat Earth, can the sun be brought back into view with a high-powered telescope? High-powered telescope? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it can with I was like Spider-Man with that. You know, so anyway, I don't think that the sun can be brought back into view with a high-powered telescope. No. But I have seen instances where someone would film the sun going down with a camera. The sun will look like it's down on the horizon, and then they would zoom back in, revealing that the sun wasn't as far gone as they thought. So it's like the sun will be like kind of low on the horizon. They'll zoom in, and then the sun will be like back in the sky. But with a telescope, I don't think so. Then again, I don't know. I'll just go with that. I don't know because I don't have a high-powered telescope, but I've never tried to bring the sun back into view with it. Hey, buddy. Gotta get something to hold this thing down, man. Somebody told me about I don't believe you're in the ground. My man. All right, so what happened right there? It looked like it was another couple, and the guy was walking with his woman. It looked like another situation where the guy figured it out, but his woman hadn't just yet. He looked like he wanted to stop and say something, but they keep walking, and he says, "I don't believe the Earth is round." Like he just had to say something. He was a flat earther, but I think she's still a globie. So there was another flat earther just walked by me. I know I'm gonna get something for this thing. My bad. Yeah, sandbag for the sign. Thanks, King Freeze. You're right. I do need to get some sandbags. My bad. I'm saying I got finished with the activism last night. First thing I did, I had to go do some laundry. By the time I finished, it was about 9 o'clock. I had to go grab something to eat, and go park and lay down and get up, go back to go to work. Got off work a little bit early today. And all right, I see somebody. All right, looks like somebody with a Camaro was right next to the van. Want to see? Yeah, it's a lot of rocks here that can hold the sign down. What I'm doing right now, what I got right now, I just got the backpack, got the strap of the backpack holding it down. So it's all good. I appreciate you all. I appreciate your concern. I really do. But yeah, good times. It is getting chilly out here. DM, keep it going. All right, cool. Hey, how you doing, man? What's up, buddy? Yo. How you doing? What's happening? I want to go grab the jacket. You know, grab it in a little bit. I might do some push-ups or something. Try to stay warm. When I start shivering, then I'll go grab the hoodie. Hope you brought some snacks. No, not really. I ate earlier. Like I just got finished eating before I came over here. Did she say retard? No, she didn't say retard. At least I don't think so. It's okay. What? France bans yellow vest. What? Lost it. Excuse me.
Damn. Lost it. Oh my. Get her done.
Yeah, I could actually say
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Jump right down there. Grab his thing. Got right back up. Let's see now. Go grab a log or something to hold this thing down.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Let's see now. Let's see. Just a minute. Hopefully the bag is heavier enough or heavy enough to hold this thing down. So now I got it strapped down to where the bag's kind of putting a little weight on this thing. So it should be a little more difficult to just blow over. Hey. All right, Tim True says, good work with the activism. Thank you very much. Great initiative, destroy the heliocentric paradigm and show them their explanation of the moon makes no sense. I know, right? Because, the moon is now within the Earth's atmosphere. I'm about to break something. It's kind of windy over here. Hold on.
Come on, B. Oh, man. Oh, my.
It's always something. Let me see. would have been worse on the other side. I'm telling you. I promise it would have been worse on the other side. I'm not sure. What's up? Me? Come on, man. Okay, that ought to work. I know. Get something heavy to hold this thing down. So now, what I got? Now I got the spare banner in the back of it. I got the backpack holding the legs down in the front. This thing blows over one more time. It should not right here. It's all good. Nope, not at the same spot as yesterday. Oh man. Now check this out. Hold up. Jet skis, man. That stuff is fun. That's fun. Huh? Oh, you hadn't heard? Oh, this is simple, man. All right, so here, so every time you see a globe, you see two colors. All right, between us. Color's green. What's that? Land, right?
And what is it now?
Yeah. What's
You're saying the green is land?
Yeah, the green is land and the blue is water. See how flat that is back there?
No, it's a lake.
I know it's waves and all that. Besides waves and ripples, water.
Considering like the Earth is a planet, Earth is a landmass.
No, well, I'm saying like the land mass is. I mean, yeah, that's Earth too. But I'm saying like all together, all of Earth is the land masses and it's comprised of water. But I mean, in our day-to-day experience, we all experience water. Anytime that it fills a container, conforms to the bottom, whatever shape it may be, on the surface, water is always flat when it's at rest.
So, I mean, where do you think the waves come from?
Oh, well, wind, of course, and then there's tides. There's that. But generally, the Earth is mostly covered in water, as it says. I mean, you can type it into Google. It says, you can Google what percentage of the Earth is water. And they'll say 71%. But bodies of water don't curve. Not on the surface. No, not like this. And I've tested it. Actually, a friend of mine was down there on that end of the dock. He had a laser that has a 12.5-mile range. I was positioned over at Saltwater State Park in Des Moines on the beach down there. And he fires this laser across the water. And this blue beam right here, that's the beam from his laser. That's a 10.3 mile stretch of water right there. Well, no, because the radius of the Earth is supposed to be 24,901 miles in circumference, right? So we were given an equation of 8 inches per mile squared in order to determine that. So using the accepted science model and their equations, okay, over that 10.3 mile stretch of water, there should have been 62 feet of curvature in between us. When you take away the observer height on that side and the height of the laser on this side, 62 feet of curved water, because when they show us a globe, that means that water is bulging.
62 feet of curved water. Where do they get the curve from? Like what part?
Where has anyone ever seen a bulge of water? Let me know. Let me know in the comments.
So that's the height.
Yeah, I mean,
They can find any.
If you ever seen water bulge higher than you or higher than a building, and then it's not falling on you, holler at your boy, and because then we need to know about that. Otherwise, it's always flat and y'all full of bullshit. I don't know. You're not full of bullshit. You just haven't opened your mind long enough to consider. You need to think it through, baby. Hey, the first time I heard it, it was retarded too. Once you look through it, you think it through. Think for yourself. Don't you don't have to rely on your high school history professor or the geometry guy or whatever. You don't have to read no Einstein books. Just think for yourself, look around, and holler at your boy.
No. The thing is, we weren't even supposed to see the laser beam from the other side. That's the thing, and that's the picture of it right there. I got a video of it. I was actually doing a live stream. Like folks that are on the live stream right now, they saw it. They saw it live. Thanks, man. I go out and do my own science, bro. All right, man. Take care. I forgot to give out pamphlets. Y'all didn't tell us. Why didn't y'all remind me?
You got pamphlets? Oh,
Pamphlets.
my.
People over by the van again. There's
Hey,
always somebody taking a picture of the van.
Globy's got pamphlets. They called encyclopedias. They called maps. They call me Zeke. They call me Popsy. I don't know. You don't need no pamphlet. Just go outside, take a look around, and then think for yourself. You heard?
Okay. These guys just walk up. They're like, "Hey, how do you know it's flat?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you." A couple guys just hanging out. It's all good. I know. I already got business cards. I just keep forgetting these things. I got cards right here. And got my face on them and everything. Of course, I got the pamphlets. Got those from FlatEarth101.com. And I got these flyers in my other back pocket. Then, of course, in the other pocket, got the level in case anybody has questions about that. It's all simple. But the thing is, it's like the logical aspect of it is we're right next to a flat body of water. And since I'm here, I can already tell them about the laser test because this is the spot where I did the laser test. So, simple stuff. All right. The light itself, daylight, is an entity, and the darkness, nighttime, is an entity. The sun is an entity, and the moon is an entity. Sun. All right. Yeah. All right. My man Preston's talking about coming down. I want to tell him to come on down. All right. Yeah. Hey, I think I'm gonna have some company down here. My guy Preston's gonna come out. Preston helped with the laser test. He's a flat earther also, so he'll probably come and hang out. So I'll hang out here, and I'll wait for Preston to show up, and it'll be a good time. He said he's gonna come out, show some support. I'm like, nah, man. He's gonna be coming out red pilling people. Let me see. Tim Truth, my question for science fans. How did the moon come into existence? How did it start its orbit? Why has it not crashed if mass is attract? There you go. And Tim Truth, those are great questions. Great questions, Tim. Seriously. How can you get some of those flyers? You want to go to FlatEarth101.com. That's where you get those flyers from. You want to go to FlatEarth101.com. Someone please put that in the chat if you can. One of my moderators, if you could. Very well. Thank you very much. Careful. Yeah. So yeah, flatearth101.com. That's where you get those flyers from. Good information. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. There have been so many different people to park next to my van and leave today. That's hilarious. How you doing? Very good. Right by the water. Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, I'm not right by the water. I'm kind of up on the dock, up on a little walkway, hanging out over here, doing this thing. Luckily, the banner's not flying away. I'll be upset about that. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, here I could pull up and just have people look out. You know, hey, check that. Boom. I think that works better at a beach, looking at a beach. You know, just looking at the open ocean and all that. You know, there's gonna be some more folks that come out. You know, want to chat a little bit, and that's what I'm here for. We'll see. I want to see. Yeah. What ideas about Logan Paul's video? I don't have any presuppositions about Logan's documentary. I'm just gonna, you know, watch it like everybody else. I might take tomorrow off just so I can watch Logan Paul's video. We'll see what's up. Kristen Springer says the struggle is real. Thank you for all you do. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate you. This is fun. It's fun, actually. You know, it's cool with me. I'm all right with this. You know, I hope it's supposed to be up tomorrow, vegan. Yeah, the 20th is when the release date of that documentary is supposed to be. So, you know, that'll be something for us to all, you know, take a look at, dissect, and see what he does with it. I'd like to think that he's gonna be fair, even-handed about the whole thing, but you know, never can tell. We'll see. We'll see. Hope he doesn't try to clown. I thought he would have clowned at the Flat Earth conference. Honestly, if he was gonna act a fool, I think he would have done it at the conference. Thank you, Kristen. What is this? Okay, I think I got. Yeah, okay. Got a charging cable in my pocket. She walks by, give me the side eye. Yeah, we'll see. Good evening.
Hi, how are you doing?
Well, just a little activism, you know, getting people up to speed on where we are and how this whole thing works.
Earth is flat, huh?
It is, actually.
And why do you think that?
Well, it's not so much that I think it. I've actually tested it. Actually, on this body of water here. There was a friend of mine back in August. We did a laser test. I kind of have it outlined here. So here we are on the beach. He was down the walkway. He had a laser that has a 12.5-mile range.
All around the globe.
Did you? Except that it's not a globe. But you'll figure it out. Anyway, so yeah, he had his laser down there, and I was at Des Moines. I was at Saltwater State Park. That's a 10.3-mile stretch of water. Now, there was a point where he was firing his laser in my direction. I was able to see that beam. Now, according to spherical trigonometry, because the Earth is supposed to have a radius of 24,901 miles in circumference, there was supposed to be 62.2 feet of curvature between us. Meaning I wasn't supposed to see that blue beam at all. So that pretty much proves it, because lasers fire in a straight line.
What about the photos from the space orbs that have been in space, and the photos are taken of Earth, and they show it? Just a minute, Rick.
Yeah, that's the Challenger people.
But the photos that they sent back show that it's round.
They show that it's round, but I mean, the photos can also be manipulated. There
And
is
even going back when the first man on the moon, when they were showing photos, old black and white gray ones, they weren't being photoshopped.
So there's this movie called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, and it shows there was some leaked footage that came out from the Apollo missions, showing the astronauts kind of staging this picture that was supposed to be of the globe round Earth. So there was like a circular window, and what happened is like there's a circular window over here, and they pulled the camera back to the other end of the cabin, and then they dim all the lights, and they're staging this film. So you can hear this guy back at Houston, I guess, giving them directions as to how to move this little cardboard insert to create the Earth's Terminator line, where it shows where it divides night from day. And there was also a point at the end of that video where they turned the lights on, and you can see inside the cabin that they were staging that shot. So that first shot that we believe was the globe, that was manipulated.
What would be the point here if the Earth is one? What's the point? What's the deal?
Well, for starters, there's NASA. They got a $56 million a day budget. There's that, the money aspect of it. Then,
well, they have a budget. They have a budget to try to send people up to other planets and stuff. So what's that got to do with the Earth? The Earth's flat. What does that have to do with it?
Well, having the population believe that the Earth is a globe, that kind of leaves us in a position where we're okay with our tax dollars going towards NASA to supposedly send people to space, except they've never really sent anybody to space.
Just a minute. So what is that money down there? What is it for?
Oh, that's NASA's daily budget, $52 million. That's what they get every day.
So what's the purpose of this? I'm opening up people's eyes and letting them know that the Earth is flat. It's like NASA spending money. What else?
Well, the idea is that believing that we live on a globe puts us out in space, and the origin of the globe model, the heliocentric theory, starts from the Big Bang. In that whole situation, that kind of leaves no space for God in this whole equation. Like, this place was created, the way that it works out, the 28-day moon cycle, the way that we have the seasons in perfect alignment, the way that it happens. The way that we've seen the same constellations all this time to mark the seasons, days, years, and all of that. The idea ultimately is to hide the existence of God.
Hide the existence of God?
Basically. So if we believe that we live on a globe out in the middle of space that came from this Big Bang, then,
But what about the millions and millions of people on this planet that do believe there's a God?
Well,
that doesn't, why, who wants to hide the belief that there's a God? The majority of human beings believe there is.
I could give you a guess. You guess anybody who would want to hide God's existence?
Well, if you believe in Satan, you believe in Satan.
Well,
Or they follow.
well, yeah. Satan, people who would serve Satan.
Serve Satan, right?
Yeah. So, some people exist.
Well, yeah.
And
There's good people, there's bad people. And we all decide if the good people are, from God, and bad people follow Satan. And then there's people that don't believe in anything but evolution. And
correct.
so I'm just curious as to what the benefit is to letting. So you're here to make people aware, and what benefit is that to you and the people that you work with?
Well, this is what I'm here to do. This is my thing, to make people aware of where we are and the deceptions that we've all fallen victim to.
So are you doing this on your own, or do you have people that are with you in a group that you
Yeah,
work with?
yeah,
So
pretty much.
you guys go to other sites and do this?
Well, I operate alone, but
Yeah.
there are people in other sites that do the same thing.
Well, it's really interesting.
It is.
Interesting. I love it when you see photos of if the Earth was flat, where people would be falling off the edge.
That is one of the program responses that we get.
If
If it was flat, you'd fall off the edge.
so if it's flat, are we flat flat on the back, all the way across, and we're just kind of suspended.
Well, I'm not sure about the bottom. I can tell you about the surface. So
the surface we're just suspended out there, just flat, floating around,
Well,
hanging out there. No cables, nothing.
Well, space as you've been told is fake. That whole idea of going to other planets and all that, that's not happening. Those guys didn't actually go to the moon. The moon isn't even like actual physical terra firma that someone could travel to and land on. You know, and we can see that on
The budget for NASA is $52 million per day. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot.
That's a whole heck of a lot of money.
So if we're flat, completely flat, how are we just suspended here somewhere?
Got some campus.
Yeah,
all that, some flyers.
So
Right? Yeah.
flat Earth,
Well,
interesting. Okay, well,
My name's Daryl. I have a YouTube channel where I explain these things.
my name is Starla.
Nice to meet you, Starla.
Nice to meet you too. We're gonna get walking, and you enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Thanks for talking.
Okay.
All right. Stay flat. All right. We got this. She had a lot of questions. I gave her a flyer. Dave, relax, man. Jeez. I gave her a flyer. We're good. We're good. I got you, Zoom. We're good, man. I saw you screaming, flyer! I'm like, I gave her a flyer. And while I was talking to her, there was a lot of other people walking by. They were wanting to chat, too. It's okay. I didn't get a chance to, like, break away. I was trying to be polite. You know? But there was other people walking by looking like they wanted to talk. They're gone. I'll be here, though. It's okay. Because, my dude's coming out. My man Preston, he's coming out to hang out with me. Hopefully he gets here soon so he can man the station and I can run back to the van and grab my jacket. Because it's getting kind of chilly out here. But that's okay. Handling business. We got this.
Titled this "The Earth is Still Flat." So I know I don't make a ton of videos about this subject anymore. I do still occasionally accept invite to debate, but let me share this to some groups. Oh dang, I didn't mean to share it there. So yeah, I posted an invite on Flat Earth and Globe discussion and invited people to come to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord to debate their Jesuit space monkey religion. But of course, no one's going to show up because Globers are just keyboard warriors. What's up, bro? Hopefully the audio is pretty good and all that. But I just wanted to cover some stuff. What up, Brian? Brian Staley's a legend. Go check him out on YouTube and sub. Don't be lame. And he's got 3 channels. I just wanted to cover the basics real quick about why it's provable that the Earth is flat, because it's been a while. So yeah, we were all indoctrinated and told that we live on this tiny speck of dust in this ever-expanding universe. So I'm going to break this down for some Globers, and hopefully they grasp the magnitude of what I'm saying. So it's commonly known and accepted in intellectual forum that when you make a positive claim, you have what's called the burden of proof. You have to substantiate your claim with evidence. The globe Earth is a positive claim. Not only that, but it's a positive claim of specificity, okay? It claims axial rotation of 1,040 miles per hour east at the equator. It claims a circumference around the equator of 24,901 miles. It claims a radius of 3,959 miles. So it's a positive claim of specificity. Okay, it claims orbital trajectory, that we're in the fabric of space-time. It claims a lot of things. And so being that specific positive claim has a very specific burden of proof. The issue arises when you go seek out the proof for this positive claim. So to clarify or to preemptively, discuss commonly used fallacious arguments from globe earthers, the globe earth has the burden of proof. If you start trying to poke holes in some flat earth model, that is called a shifting the burden of proof fallacy. In addition, flat earth doesn't actually claim a definitive model. We don't have all the information required to make a model. Okay, so that's a shifting the burden of proof fallacy and a straw man fallacy, because no model that you try to poke holes in can actually be a genuine flat earther's position, because we don't claim a definitive model, because we don't have access to all the information required. Another common fallacy that globe earthers use is a reification fallacy. So what they do is they postulate things that they consider evidence that require the presupposition that the earth is a ball. They also do this with gravity. They reify gravity. So that's a reification fallacy. Those are the three major ones, if you ever try to debate a globe earther, that they're going to pull out. The shifting the burden of proof fallacy, a straw man fallacy, and a reification fallacy. What's up, Karen? Karen B is a legend. Go sub to Karen B on YouTube. So here's the deal. Axial rotation has never been substantiated. They tell us that we're spinning around 1,040 miles per hour east, but it's never been substantiated. Globe earthers will bring up Foucault's pendulum. It doesn't have an independent frame of reference. It isn't consistent. It has a window of error, and it doesn't correlate cause and effect. Science is the correlation of cause and effect. So what that means is you have an observable phenomena, that is the effect. Okay, you have to correlate the cause to the effect, which means you have to have an independent variable that is manipulated so that it differentiates the effect. And then you can validate that that is the cause. Okay, that's what the actual scientific method is. Yeah, you have the dependent variable, the effect, the observable phenomena. You have an independent variable that you manipulate to validate the effects. Okay, to validate that it is the cause of the effect. It's very simple. The globe earth doesn't do this ever at all. So there's literally not one single piece of scientific evidence for the globe earth. So very simply, Foucault's pendulum doesn't prove axial rotation because, again, it doesn't have an independent frame of reference, an inertial frame of reference. It's still connected to the earth. It doesn't have an independent frame of reference. And it has a window of error. It isn't consistent. And it doesn't correlate the cause and the effect. So it is not in any way valid postulation for evidence of the globe earth spinning. Okay, they'll bring up a gyroscope, incredibly inconsistent. You do not get 15 degrees of precession every time that you make a reading with a gyroscope. And again, you can't just cherry pick when it does work, for one. And again, we have the same problem. It doesn't correlate the cause to the effect. Imposed causalities, claimed causalities are just that, they're claims. You have to validate them. Okay, so we were all indoctrinated and told that we lived on this tiny speck of dust that's spinning and shooting through space in this ever-expanding universe. And it was brought to you by Jesuits, the Vatican Church, literally. Okay, and also a Jesuit priest came up with the Big Bang Theory. So one of the most corrupt establishments ever, if not the most corrupt establishment ever, brought you this fairy tale story that you evolved from apes and that you're on a tiny speck of dust and there has no evidence. So we've established axial rotation literally has no evidence. And globe earthers will bring up Foucault's pendulum, which is from 1851, and then like 70 years later, in 1922, Einstein said, I've come to the conclusion that, you know, the movement of Earth will never be detected or can never be detected with observable phenomena or optical phenomena. So it's pretty crazy. Like one of the little leaders of their religion that they prop up, the incestuous scrabbler known as Albert Einstein, himself knew Foucault's pendulum wasn't a sufficient postulation to substantiate axial rotation. So it's a clown world whenever the globers just regurgitate that because they heard somebody like Muktoon or quite the tight shirts say it, and they don't know what they're talking about. They just regurgitate things. Okay, so there's tons of evidence. Traditional glober, no specificity. Feel free to provide some actual evidence. And maybe you should listen. Okay, so axial rotation has never been substantiated, literally. It makes a claim of curvature. Inherently, if it's a ball, it's going to curve, right? So what we did was we went out and tested the claim of curvature. We have long distance observations that are literal impossibilities on the globe Earth. We have observations of 273 miles. The black swan was done from 1 foot observer height. The geometric horizon should be at 1.2 feet. In the circulation of the mean, we gave you 5 feet. That means it's the geometric horizon, the physical, literal, tangible piece of land that should cause obstruction of view. It can be no further than 2.73 miles. This isn't a debatable number, okay? This is necessitated by the geometry of the Earth that they told you that you live on, because you take the radius times 1.225 of the observer height and you get the geometric horizon. We tested it. We saw that the horizon was beyond the oil rig that was at 9.42 miles, and it couldn't be any farther than 2.73 miles, a literal impossibility on the globe Earth. And again, we have long distance observations everywhere, all the time, 50 miles, 60 miles, 200 miles, missing a mile of curvature. A mile of curvature. We have observations where there should be a mile of the Earth blocking our view, and there's no curvature there. Really take that in. Okay. And of course, globers have been indoctrinated and trained to just regurgitate the word refraction. Void of specificity. There's 5 effects of refraction. They don't even know that. They don't actually even invoke a specific one that's relative to the postulation. They also don't seem to understand the concepts that looming, for example, is a phenomena relative to the horizon. Objects loom relative to the horizon. We're discussing the movement of the horizon. They don't understand the idea of empirical means, verification, experimentation, replication to actually verify their postulations. It's a clown world. Okay, it's pathetic. It is so pathetic, honestly. Like, it's so easy to wipe the floor with the globers in a debate, so I'm explaining. And also, just for a little context, you're not a glober just because you think the Earth's a globe. You're a glober if you're, given all this information and you double down in the face of it out of ignorance. Willful ignorance, cognitive dissonance, confirmation bias, that makes you a glober. Okay, like a lot of the people that are going to jump in here from the flat Earth and globe discussion are globers. Okay, y'all are pathetic. I'm just going to be real with you. Okay, so we were all indoctrinated. It's all good. So very simply, we have too much evidence that has falsified the claim of the radius and the curvature that's necessitated of the claim of radius and circumference. It's a necessitation of the globe Earth claim. It isn't negotiable. We have long distance laser tests of 25 miles, 30 miles, from 1.5 meters off the ground. The literal impossibility if the Earth was a globe. Okay. And so we make one claim that is a claim to a general descriptor of the surface of the Earth that is flat. We have the burden of proof to substantiate it's flat. Well, we have done that. I just now gave you numerous examples, and there's thousands of them. We've substantiated the claim of flat. That's all we have to substantiate. We don't claim a definitive model. We're not even allowed to traverse the whole Earth. I'm not sure if you're aware. So how could we possibly know a definitive model? That's non sequitur to the fact that we have falsified your model. The falsification of the positive claim of the globe Earth doesn't just go away because you want to poke holes in a straw man model. Okay, I really hope that people are listening to what I'm saying if you're a glober, because it's so incredibly simple if you really just understand what I'm saying. Okay, so again, you don't get to shift the burden of proof. That's a fallacy. So it's that simple. It made a claim of curvature. We falsified that claim. If it's not curved, what is it?
Exactly.
It's flat. Very simple stuff. And the KJV Bible is scientific. Yeah, true that. There are people that.
Hold on, let's rewind that for 1 second. 1 second. I'm not gonna say you, but the globe model has set out a parameter with numbers and pictures and all of the bullshit to go along, and all it takes is one proof to say that's bullshit, and then they have to start over. Let me rewind this. They can't shift the burden of proof onto, oh, how you can't prove that it's flat. Hey, that's not it. That's never been the point. Y'all can't even prove that it's right. It's not. Hey, hold up. Here we go.
The claim of the globe Earth doesn't just go away because you want to poke holes in a straw man model. Okay, I really hope that people are listening to what I'm saying if you're a glober, because it's so incredibly simple if you really just understand what I'm saying. Okay, so again, you don't get to shift the burden of proof. That's a fallacy. So it's that simple. It made a claim of curvature. We falsified that claim. If it's not curved, what is it? It's flat. Very simple stuff. And the KJV Bible was scientific. Yeah, true that. There are people that claim to be Christians, but the Bible literally says that the earth is flat, and they act like it doesn't. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really kind of weird. But nevertheless, so yeah, you can't shift the burden of proof. Really take that in. It's simple. We falsified the positive claim of the globe Earth. And understand the implications of the falsification of the radius. The current connotation of gravity relies heavily on that number. That means gravity implodes, orbital trajectory implodes. Everything about the globe Earth model, the heliocentric model, relies on the radius of 3959, as does the 24-hour day and night cycle, the seasons, a mile. Everything relies on that radius. So we have completely falsified the entirety of the model once we falsify the radius, which we have literally done. Go look at the black swan. Okay, now to touch on something that globers love to say is gravity. Let me give you an example of when globers will invoke their little deified force known as gravity. The necessary antecedent to gas pressure is a physical container. We have a pressurized system on Earth with gas pressure in it, okay? Now, according to the second law of thermodynamics, it's about entropy, right? Energy transfer, heat to cold in layman terms. So high pressure will naturally seek equilibrium and migrate to low pressure systems. So they say that we have a pressurized system here on Earth, and it's adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. So how do we have gas pressure here without the necessary antecedent of physical containment? All observation shows us that always. If you let gas out of something, it's going to immediately seek equilibrium and it's going to disperse in all directions. Okay, so you have a big issue there with your model. It's violating the second law of thermodynamics, and this is where globers will just parrot the word gravity. So most of them don't even know this, but you have to understand what gravity it is that you're discussing. Okay, so what is your connotation of gravity? So I guess you'll say, well, they don't even know, but I'll just explain it to you, okay? So originally there was Newtonian gravity, proportionate mass, mutual mass acceleration. And in fact, Newton himself didn't even postulate an explanation. And in fact, what he did say was to think that this would work on brute matter in the vacuum of space over vast distances is to me so great an absurdity that no man with competent faculty of thinking in philosophical matters would ever fall into it. So basically, Newton himself said the way that you use gravity is retarded. And yet he died, and then people postulated an explanation for him and then attributed the idea to him. And he literally said, no one with competent faculties of thinking in philosophical matters could ever fall into it. That was superseded by Einsteinian gravity in 1915. The idea that gravity is the effect of warped space-time. Okay, space, a conceptual abstraction, and time, a conceptual abstraction. Time is a human construct we use to quantify existence. It's a measurement of magnitude between 2 points. It's a measurement of passing. It's purely a conceptual abstraction we use to quantify existence. It's nothing in and of itself. It is a concept. Space is also a concept. It's a conceptual abstraction used to represent a privation. A privation is the absence of anything, right? So the absence of anything, i.e. nothing, nothingness is an example of a privation. A shadow is an example of a privation. It can have attributes. It's cooler when you stand in a shadow, but it cannot have properties because it's nothing in and of itself. A privation is nothing in and of itself. Shadow is just absence of light. Okay, so it is nothing in and of itself. It's just absence of light. Can have attributes, not properties. Space is a privation, the absence of anything that cannot have physical properties. The theory of relativity attempts to attribute physicality, physical properties, to a privation, conceptual abstractions. Okay, that's called a reification fallacy. So on its face, the theory of relativity isn't even a feasible postulation, even in theoretical possibility, because it's a reification fallacy, literally. Okay, so Albert Einstein reified space and privation and gave it physical properties. So the very conceptual backing of gravity isn't even sufficient. Not to mention that the little incestuous scrabbler that he was, he took the equations, the mathematical representation of gravity, from Lorentz. The Lorentz equations, Lorentz transformations, which had an electromagnetic conceptual backing, and then he changed the conceptual backing, but he just took the math, and he also took it from Poincare. He didn't even come up with anything. He's a complete and total loser. He dropped out of school. In fact, he didn't even get accepted into school because he couldn't pass the basic competency test when it comes to mathematics. So it's a clown world. That dude was an idiot, and he married his first cousin and then wrote about how he wanted to hook up with her daughter. And he's revered, but we weren't told about Nikola Tesla, one of the brightest minds ever. So there you go. There's the ordeal with gravity. Literally, there's not even a theoretical postulation as to what gravity is to explain it that makes any sense, because the only one that's currently used, the current scientific rhetoric, is a reification fallacy. In addition to that, it's just never been proven or substantiated. Okay, so this right here, that was downward acceleration. Okay, so things fall to the ground. That's an effect. Take this in, Glovers. Downward acceleration is an effect. Okay, we have an agreed upon average of 9.8 meters per second squared, a general rate of acceleration to the earth when unimpeded. Okay, that's 9.8 meters per second squared. It's just an average, it's a generality, an agreed upon average of the phenomena, an observable phenomena, i.e. an effect of local downward acceleration. That's all 9.8 meters per second squared is, little g, okay? So gravity claims to be the cause of that effect. So when people say, you want me to prove gravity, and they do this, that's just, I'm sorry, that's just retarded. That's not how it works at all. Okay, that is an effect, local downward acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared, a magical representation, a mathematical description of the effect. Gravity claims to be the cause. And scientific means, empirical evidence has to correlate the cause and the effect. That's what science is. So the scientific method is. Never in the history of mankind has that cause ever been substantiated. So I really want you to take that in, that I'm not just saying that. Glovers will say something about, you know, Cavendish, okay, where they had a couple, lead balls, and they said that it was gravity that affected them, even though he was attempting to determine the weight of the earth. So it shows you where that guy's head was. But simply, it has a window of error. It isn't consistent, and it also, once again, doesn't correlate cause to effect. It doesn't take into account electrostatics. Anything with matter inherently is electrostatic. Electrostatics is well known to be a much stronger force than gravity is even postulated to be. So how could you adequately differentiate between electrostatics and gravity? It's pretty dumb. Okay, so Cavendish obviously doesn't prove gravity. So again, just to summarize for you, there isn't even a feasible theoretical possibility in the form of a conceptual backing for what gravity could be, and in addition, it's literally never been proven. Literally. Okay, so relative density is a sufficient answer of the explanation or of the observable phenomena of downward acceleration. It's that simple. Volume over mass relative to the medium it's encompassed in will cause directionality. That's why helium goes up, because it weighs less than air. Okay, so to give you a rudimentary example, if you take a beach ball and you throw it up in the air, it's going to fall to the ground. If you take that same beach ball and go swim to the bottom of a pool and then you drop it, let go of it, it's going to only thing that has changed is the medium. Okay, so the observable phenomena of the directionality of the object was altered by the medium. Okay, so we have manipulated the medium. So it's that simple. This dude says, yo, density isn't a force, LMFAO. Yeah, that's operating under the presupposition that something falling requires a force. I don't think you're really keeping up here, obviously. Okay, so again, we actually take an empirical approach, which means verifiable through scientific means. We can manipulate the medium and shows that it changed directionality. You can never correlate cause and effect whenever you claim that there is a downward force of gravity causing things to fall. And in fact, this guy doesn't even understand his own religion, because this current scientific rhetoric is that gravity isn't a force. It's that it's the effect of warped space-time. Okay, so I'm glad that you don't even know your own religion, but you're trying to teach people in here. So Yeah, it's very simple. Gravity's in the current scientific rhetoric isn't even a force. It's the effective warp space-time that acts as a force, okay? So it's very simple. People try to proclaim the axiomatic interpretation that there has to be a force. That isn't true, right? Directionality is created. Why do things fall once you drop them? Because you dropped it. It is actually that simple. Yeah, and whenever you manipulate the medium, then it differentiates the effect. So gravity is complete nonsense, and globers constantly reify it, void of any specificity or substantive postulation of verifiability. Empirical means what science actually is, not pseudoscience, just making things up and then reifying your postulation and then acting like that answers the question. So what you'll run into again is shifting the burden of proof fallacies, strawman fallacies, reification fallacies. And that's all you're ever going to run into, because that's all globers know how to do. And begging the question fallacy, of course. For example, I had a debate with Mattoon. I was like, can you give me an example of gas pressure existing without a container? He showed footage of like someone going up in the air. And he said, look, there's pressure there, but it's getting really low. He said, look, the pressure is really, really low. I said, the what? The pressure. Okay, and I said, so what does that prove? He's like, well, look, right here it is. There's the gas pressure without a container. And I said, no, you're begging the question of the nature of the earth, that there isn't a physical container above that. So begging the question fallacies and reification fallacies are the two go-tos outside of what, like, for example, the clown known as Professor Dave does, which he constantly shifts the burden of proof to a straw man model, a straw man fallacy. So it's just very low IQ attempts to try to cling on to a religion. And it's called religion because that's an accurate connotation, because it's a belief system void of any evidence, and it has the doctrine of men as the foundation. So it's very simple. Like, we chose to go verify it. We were all indoctrinated. We all once thought this. Trust me, when I first heard the earth was flat, I thought it was crazy. But for 5 years, I've gone and independently tried to verify that. And we've gone out and tested the earth itself, which is the very question at hand here. What is the surface of the earth? Is it curved or is it not? We went and tested it. None of you globe earthers have tested it, but you know more about it than us somehow. It's baffling. Okay, so we were all indoctrinated. Understand it's a lot to take in to even try to entertain the magnitude of this lie, but it is just what it is. And as an intellectually responsible adult, you do not turn your head to evidence or what the truth is because it makes you uncomfortable or because you can't understand the motive. You establish that they lied, then you can try to speculate as to what the motive is. But lack of interpretation of what the motive is does not change the fact that they did indeed lie. So we should just all be adults here and maybe, try to adopt an empirical approach about the nature of where we live. There are massive implications of this. So one of the defense mechanisms that globers go into once ever their religion gets dismantled, as it is casually being dismantled right now, they'll try to say, what's it even matter? Well, of course it matters. They told you we're a tiny speck of dust in this ever-expanding universe, and the truth is it's a geocentric stationary plane, meaning the center of everything, and the sky revolves over top of you. The sky revolves over top of you, and the stars do a revolution that resets annually, and that has happened forever. All recordable history, literally, the sky always resets every single year. Yet they tell you that we're going 1,040 mile per hour rotation while shooting 66,600 miles per hour through the universe. Around the sun, shooting 500,000 miles per hour through the universe. I mean, that is just wild. That makes no sense.
What's it really
Hey, also,
matter?
what are you doing tomorrow night, Brian? I would love to have you on the realm if you're free. Yeah, for sure. I'm down. I am free. I'm also mentally free. I'm trying to mentally free up some of these globers, but I have a feeling that they're not going to listen. But yeah, so we pretty much covered it. So in summary, guys, in a paraphrase or a summarization, the globe Earth's a positive claim of specificity, thus it carries the burden of proof of axial rotation and the metrics and orbital trajectory and the very glue of the entire model, which is gravity. Okay, none of those things have ever been substantiated. Whenever you are taking a scientific approach to something, you have to correlate the cause and effect through empirical means. Empirical means verifiable. Okay, so we need some verifiability and some substantive postulations of evidence here. We don't just live in la land where authoritative figures have crafted this theory for you and shoved it down your throat from the age of like 5. And by the way, when you were 5 years old, you didn't think it made sense either. They were like, hey, this is what you live on. And 5-year-old you was like, what are you talking about, crazy person? We would fall off the bottom. And she's like, no, silly, gravity. And you're like, what's that? A force that pulls you to the ground, but proportionate mass and mutual mass acceleration has never been established in any way with empirical means. Literally, it's never been proven, and it in fact was superseded in 1915 with a new conceptual backing of the theory of relativity, and your teacher didn't even know that or understand the difference or the implications of the change. So yeah, there you go. I mean, there's literally no proof. And then Globers will go as far as to tell you that boats are obstructed from the bottom up because of the physical curvature of the earth. But we have literally disproven that. And any of the top people that argue and debate the globe earth, they have now detached themselves from the physicality of the geometric horizon being visible. I've debated a dude named Kosho. He's gone as far as to say the geometric horizon is a physical location that we don't expect to see. So for 5 years now, I've been looking into the earth, and for 5 years, I've heard globe earthers say that boats disappear because of the curve of the earth, and now they're all acting like they haven't said that for 5 years, and they're admitting that it doesn't. That is simply because the horizon is an optical phenomenon. It's nothing more than an illusion. It's where the sky appears to meet the ground. It fluctuates based on observer height and atmospheric conditions. There is nothing physical about it whatsoever, and we've disproven and falsified the necessitation of a geometric horizon based on the claim of a radius. So there you go. Yeah, guys, you don't live on a magic spinning ball. It's just preposterous. You didn't evolve from apes. It's equally as preposterous. And I think evolution will probably go down in history as one of the dumbest postulations ever, right next to this fantasy depiction of where you live. So, you know, maybe you should swallow your pride and re-examine your worldview as opposed to having it crafted by people that have something to gain by lying to you. You're not allowed to go within 500 miles in each direction of the North Pole, and you're not allowed to privately traverse the South Pole, also known as Antarctica, which we don't fully know the true characteristics of because we can't go there. We cannot freely privately explore Antarctica. You're not allowed to go and bring external fuel supply or water or mechanic equipment. You're subject to being monitored. You can only go on a approved guided tour, and you can be stopped by force if you violate any of those terms and conditions. Even though, of course, they don't own the earth, God does, and God made you with the inherent free right to be able to travel this earth and traverse it however you feel the need. But of course, they think that they somehow have rights over you. So I find it a bit odd that people run around defending oppression from tyrannical positions whenever they're the ones also being oppressed, as if these tyrannical leaders retained you as a defense attorney. It's pretty crazy. Brilliant way of saying that you understand the world at a 5-year-old's level. This is all you'll ever get from globe earthers. This very low IQ remarks, completely void of any substantive specificity. And it's sad, but that's all you'll ever get. So, and I just explained this pretty rudimentary, right? Like the globe earth has a positive claim, has the burden of proof, axis of rotation, the metrics of the size, orbital trajectory, etc. None of it's ever been substantiated. And just to top all of this off, we observe that the sun and the moon are the same size in the sky. They try to tell you this is just a coincidence and that the moon is actually 400 times smaller than the sun. And coincidentally, exactly 400 times closer. And that's why it looks like they're the same size in the sky. In addition, we only see one side of the moon ever for always in the entirety of the history of mankind. And they tell you this is also just a coincidence because of tidal locking and has a perfect rotational speed to where we only see one half of it. Okay, and yeah, 66,600 miles per hour on a 66.6 degree tilt with 0.666 degree curvature. Oh yeah, that's probably a coincidence. Okay, so clearly this was a lie crafted to detach you from the truth, and what the implications of that, is speculative and then thus subjective, but it's very simple. Why are you using God to prove a flat earth? I literally haven't used God to prove a flat earth at all. Once again, a perfect example of the very low IQ responses you get from globe earthers that are in full panic mode as I casually dismantled their religion, okay? Flat earth proves God. I didn't have to use God to prove flat earth. The earth proves that. I don't know if you've been listening. I'm assuming you don't have a very good attention span. You may be lacking in comprehension skills as well. But yeah, we went out and tested the claim of curvature. We have 25-mile laser tests, 30-mile laser tests. We have long-distance observations of over 200, 300, 400 miles. And we've taken observations over 10 miles with the horizon over 10 miles away from one.
You said you may be lacking in comprehension skills. Oh, my.
1 foot off the ground. When the necessitation of the claim of the radius for the geometric horizon could be no further than 1.2 miles, we gave you 5 feet, it'd be 2.73 miles, yet the horizon is beyond 9.4 miles, a literal impossibility on the globe Earth. And there's hundreds and hundreds of observations like that, thousands of long distance observations that are impossibilities. And the laser test alone was sufficient to prove that the Earth is flat. And axial rotation has never been substantiated, and gravity's never been substantiated. And once you falsify the claim of the radius, the entire model implodes. It's getting reiterative. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with globe earthers that are suffering from cognitive dissonance and cannot offer a remark with any substantive specificity. It's really pretty sad. It's a sad state of affairs that they will leave this live in this conversation actually convincing themselves that somehow I'm stupid and they can't even either understand what I'm saying or they refuse to fully even entertain it and the validity of what it is, okay? But science correlates cause and effects through verifiable means. The globe earth never does this at all, ever, whatsoever. So glad we got that covered. I just figured I'd do a little brief overview of the discussion, and a lot of things like globe earthers will constantly point to the sky to try to explain to you how the earth is evolved. So we falsified the claim of curvature because there's a lack of physicality, yet globe earthers will be like, oh, look at the stars, because they're not very bright. That's simply what it comes down to. And some globe earthers are decently smart, but confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance, has no IQ bias, so it's that simple. It's in the Bible, but you can make an intelligent argument about many of the lies you've been fed without referencing the Bible. Once again, a very non-specific, vague recollection, trying to critique the way that I'm explaining this information, but not capable of actually offering any substantive rebuttal. So it's pretty pathetic, the state of affairs of these globers. It's actually quite laughable. Something else you'll find is they'll talk real big behind their keyboard, but they'll never show their face on camera and debate in live time. Amanda Angela, if you want to debate on my YouTube live time, you're more than invited to, but we all know that you will not do so because you can't. I haven't had to reference the Bible as to why the earth is flat at all. What a loser. What do you want, dude? I've got a degree in a life. Okay, well, obviously you don't have any substantive responses to what's being postulated right now. No one cares about your degree. Look at you bragging about being in debt to be indoctrinated. I'm on your side, I wasn't rebuking it. Okay, well, I didn't even use the Bible one single time, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here for a giggle. So funny to watch a guy spout absolute nonsense for half an hour. Think about what that dude just said. This dude has watched me talk on camera, another male, for half an hour. What a clown. He thinks I'm stupid and he's watching me talk on camera for half an hour. What a loser. Textbook gamma. Please don't be that guy. Let's see here. Oh, he has a degree. Yeah, exactly. Look at him paying tens of thousands of dollars for indoctrination slip. Stand challenge him to a debate. I dare you. They won't, dude. And if they do, it's just going to be behind a keyboard. They won't show up. It's not rising. It's getting smaller as it travels away from the point source. Yeah, so due to perspective, you can only see so far. It's called a limit of perspective. If you stand at the end of a long hallway, eventually things will become obstructed. You won't be able to see them anymore, and it'll look like the sky or the roof, the ceiling, and the floor are converging. It's just a similar limit of perspective. Same thing if you stand at the end of a long railroad, right? So our limit of perspective is simply relative to observer height and atmospheric conditions and angular resolution. It's very simple. Come on, man, you gotta know better. You know these globers aren't actually gonna debate me, bro. Like the people that they revere as like globe earth heroes, I've already dismantled them in debate, right? Like I debated McToon and dismantled him, and he claimed he won, and the globers doubled down and claimed that they won. So what a joke. Mind if I debate you? I've always wanted to do it. No, of course I don't mind, because globe earth is so laughable I could debate it in my sleep. So Emily Secru, we'll see if you're actually about it, but we all know that you're not. But you can send me a personal message if you actually want to debate. The stipulations are simply that we debate live time on my YouTube channel, and you have to show your face. Yeah. Okay. So I think we've pretty sufficiently dismantled the Jesuit space monkey religion casually. Their heroes are in reality morons. Yes, exactly, Brian. They are literally morons. To really put into perspective how much of morons they are, McToon, when I debated him, I said, okay, you have the burden of proof, McToon. Can you substantiate curvature? He showed me a picture of the horizon. And then in the same debate, he said that we never see the geometric horizon. That is the level of stupid that we're dealing with. Okay. And then globe earthers will watch it and say that he won the debate because they're suffering from confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance and Dunning-Kruger. Like, what can you do? Anyone that actually does their own research can't debate the world being round. It's over. Yeah, well, anyone that actually does their own research can't debate the fact that it's provably flat. Please talk about how Venus is visible at midnight now. It's a globe impossibility. Yeah, sure, there's all kinds of globe impossibilities. I like to stick to the terrain, though, because that's Glover's favorite move, is to point at the sky. Yeah, but the Selenilian eclipse is impossible on the globe Earth. A refraction! Simple question. What do the governments of the world got to gain from telling the world the Earth is round? I've already covered that. I don't know how long you've been here, Barry. But, what adults do is they establish what the truth is, and then they go from there. They do not turn their head to the truth until they feel they can adequately explain the motivation for someone lying to you about what the truth actually is. So we have established through empirical means that there is literally no curvature anywhere. We falsify the radius, which means it isn't a ball, and that it's flat. If you want to speculate why, well, what would they gain? What if there's more land? Well, they'd gain the advantage of having the land and the resources. They've also convinced you that you're a tiny speck of dust in an ever-expanding universe where everything came from nothing and you evolved from a rock and then an ape, thus creating the path to adopt a worldview of materialism and nihilism, and makes your mind much more malleable and controllable. We give like 54 million, now like 59, $60 million a day to NASA, and that's just the space agency of America. So billions and billions of dollars, potentially land and resources, and a much more malleable state of mind for the population they attempt to control. In addition, it's very simple. Knowledge is power. It's much more powerful whenever you're the only one with it. Question answered.
Woo!
If they take away God, then man will worship them. Yeah, I guess if you're stupid. I saw that debate. He used charts with squiggly lines trying to prove his point. Yeah, dude, it's pathetic. But what's even more pathetic than how Mattoon fared in that debate were the Globers that doubled down and said that he won. So, all right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to kind of concisely sent you a DM. We're going to see, again, the only stipulations is you have to show your face live on YouTube, and you can be on my channel. I'll add you into my StreamYards, and we can debate. Bro, you haven't had enough time to sit here and run your mouth. You have time to debate them. They're not going to debate me, dude. They're all talk behind their keyboards. We've discussed this. Join the Flat Earth Discord. Looks like fun. Waiting to get verified. Cool. I'll probably jump on in a little bit. I can get you verified, or you can just send someone a message and jump in VC check it. 24/7 Flat Earth Discord for any of you Clovers that think that you can actually debate reality. Jump in there. They'll thoroughly dismantle your religion too, I'm sure. Do you research QAnon stuff? No, QAnon is a psyop to keep you complicit. They may even make it look somewhat real so they can usher in bigger moves, but that's kind of non sequitur to the discussion. Thank you, Austin. We will get it with you. Sweet. See you tomorrow night, bro. Yeah, for sure. Much love, man. Simple spirit level test. Yeah, the amount of evidence for the flat Earth is literally endless. It's a plethora, and there's no evidence for the globe Earth. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here though. Nice chopping it up with you guys. Very simply, again, we falsify the claim of the globe Earth. You don't live on a tiny speck of dust in the ever-expanding universe. You are actually very important because inherently you have domain over the Earth, and the Earth is inherently important because it's the center of everything. So a geocentric stationary plane where everything revolves over top of you, and the sky resets annually for all recordable history. You're very important. They didn't want you to know that because you're in a much more malleable state of mind when you adopt a worldview of materialism and apathy and nihilism. So, just seek and speak truth and accept it for what it is. Don't try to fit truth into the parameters of your comfort, right? So whenever you try to confine truth to what makes you comfortable, well, that's just stupid, right? So you just accept truth for what it is and you go from there. So look into it if you actually pride yourself in being a truth seeker, if you want to know the truth. And you're going to have to examine evidence without bias. And it's actually a pretty simple conclusion to come to. All the empirical evidence validates that the Earth is in a D flat and consistently falsifies the claim of the globe Earth that you were taught and indoctrinated with. So open up your mind, go look into it. Anybody that sees this video that wants to debate me and understands the rules are very simple. You have to agree to jump on my YouTube channel in live time and show your face, and I'll be happy to debate them because that'll weed out about 99% of the keyboard warriors.
No takers.
So, all right, guys. Much love.
Oh, wow.
I'll catch up with y'all later or something. I guess I'll catch up with Brian and Karen manana. So tune in.
Okay, so then there's that. What else? What else? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where should we go? Santa Monica. Oh, not Santa Monica. My bad. Okay. Sorry. Dimebag. What's up, Dimebag? Right on, America. Yeah, that guy knows his he knows his streets. He speaks it so eloquently. I can't get down like that. I try to explain it, I sound like a donkey. That guy he knows how to spell it out, plain as day. Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. I don't know. Let me go. I'm thinking, come on now. Why not? Oklahoma City.
Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Earth is flat.
Waking up to all the time to liberate. Oh, you're doing right when you start to hate.
In a world.
Yeah.
I've been fighting with the slaves. I make up the paper to them, they can't show their face. Now the system don't control me, yeah, the beast is getting slayed. Boston got the belt, they look sour, don't behave. When I'm back, my father didn't witness, he gon' lick his praise. I ignore it, cause it's war, only thing that I obey. I ain't with the social distance and the harmony, my space. They be pouring me with corn, need to stay up in your place.
Oh, the bar's open.
Earth is flat. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't lie to you, bro. I'm sorry.
In a world.
All right, guys. Just so you know, we had to replace the speaker because the psychopath threw the water on it, kicked it, and messed it up and broke it.
was the last day I could try to take it back. Took it back, which was like the $800 to $1,000 speaker. Took it back. Went and got the JBL. JBL was $500. And then we got it out here, and the JBL's trash, and no one can hear it. And so then we had to try to take it back to the next one they had. We now have another one from Best Buy, and it's also trash, and no one can hear it. So that's why we're late. That's what's taking so long. It sucks. We may have to just walk around OKC and try and talk to people really close because no one can hear it. So. In a world. You guys may think it sounds good. It doesn't. Trust me. I gotta eat the mic. Eat the mic. Hey, do you know the Earth's flat, bro? Earth is flat, bro. Yeah. I know it sounds crazy. You should look into it, man. They lied about the Earth, bro. It's not spinning. It's not a ball. It's not in a vacuum. It's not in a solar system with other planets. The Earth's not like flat in a solar system. The Earth is flat, it doesn't move, and the sky moves over top of it. Yeah, you should check it out, bro. We measured the surface of the Earth, it doesn't curve, so how's it a ball? And the government censors us. That's how you know they're not hiding anything. They forcibly censor us. Seems legit. Like if you talk about how the air is not going to kill you and you shouldn't take medicine from strangers, then you get kicked off YouTube now. You know what I'm talking about? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Whenever you tell the truth, they delete you. It's like when your girl uses Snapchat so you don't know she's texting someone else, so the evidence gets deleted. The government uses Snapchat, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Earth is flat. We saw Chicago from 60 miles away over Lake Michigan. It should have been blocked entirely by Earth curvature, so that's impossible. We saw mountains 273 miles away. Based on the radius value of the globe Earth they say that we live on, there should be 3 miles of Earth curvature blocking the mountains. But we can see the mountains. How does that work? If the Earth's a ball, why doesn't it curve anywhere? Weird. Hey, you guys think the moon landing's real? It's fake. It's hella fake. That's just stupid. That's not real. Alright, he doesn't want to be on camera. We flip the camera. The moon landing's fake. They've never been to space. The Earth is not a spinning ball in a vacuum. It's actually flat. The Antarctic treaty signed around you. Hey, man, or you can keep believing the government stories and be a good slave, going past your curfew. Watch out for the air. It'll kill you. Just trying to help you out, brother. Hey, do you guys think the moon landing was real? You guys think the moon landing was real? You guys are too cool to answer, I guess? Alright, fair enough. You guys carry on. Carry on. Just so you know, the moon landing was fake. None of that's real. That's dumb. Black and white movies by Nazis aren't real. That's why we haven't been back. The moon landing's fake. Don't make it weird.